I let my cousin borrow my car for one night. He came back 3 days later with a broken bumper and no explanation. I asked him to pay for repairs. He laughed and said, "You got insurance, don't you?" A week later, I got a court notice. He'd filed a claim saying I let him drive a dangerous vehicle. I almost lost the case until I found the dashcam footage. What he was doing at 2 a.m. wasn't just illegal, it was with someone's wife. And she was in court that day, too. I'll keep it real with you guys. I'm still shaking a little just thinking about it all. My name's Rick. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, out in the western burbs. It's not fancy, but it's home. I work maintenance for an apartment complex, live alone, mind my own business. I'm not flashy, I'm not rich. My pride and joy is my 2018 Toyota Camry. Bought it used, saved for years. It's the nicest thing I own. One Friday around noon, my cousin Derek hits me up. Derek's the kind of family member you don't trust with a house key. Always bragging, always borrowing money he forgets to pay back. But still, he's family. He says, "Bro, can I borrow your car tonight? Gotta take my girl out. My truck's acting up." I hesitated. I really did. But he caught me when I was busy, when I wasn't thinking clear. I tossed him the keys. "Just bring it back tomorrow," I said. He grinned, hopped in, and drove off like he stole it. I texted. No answer. Called. Straight to voicemail. By dinner, I was pacing my kitchen, mad and worried at the same time. Maybe he got arrested? Maybe he wrecked it? Or maybe he just flaked out somewhere. Sunday morning, still nothing. By Sunday night, I was thinking about calling the cops. I swear to God, I was 2 seconds away from filing a report. At 11:45 p.m., headlights finally hit my driveway. I ran out the door. And there's Derek climbing out of my car, casual as hell. I looked at my car and my stomach dropped. The front bumper was cracked open like an egg. Big scuff marks all along the side. The right headlight was smashed inward. My car looked like it had been through a riot. I stared at him. "What the hell happened, Derek?" He shrugged. "Man, somebody must have hit it in a parking lot or something. You got insurance, don't you?" Then the son of a bitch laughed. Like it was a joke. Like wrecking my car was no big deal. I clenched my fists so hard my nails dug into my palms. "You're paying for this, Derek?" I said, shaking. He laughed again and waved me off like I was some little kid. "Good luck with that, bro." Then he jumped into his girlfriend's truck. Yeah, the same truck that was supposedly broken down, and peeled off into the night. I opened my mailbox and there it was, a court summons. At first I thought it was a mistake. But no, Derek filed a lawsuit against me. Said I negligently provided him with a dangerous, faulty vehicle. Said he suffered emotional distress and minor back injuries from brake failure. It was surreal. I sat at my kitchen table staring at the papers for a good 10 minutes. If he won, I'd be liable for thousands. It'd screw up my insurance, maybe even my job. I almost gave up right there. Almost said, screw it, settle, pay him off. But something gnawed at me. Then it hit me, the dashcam. I hadn't even thought about it since I installed it 6 months ago after some jerk hit my rear bumper in a Walmart parking lot. I booted it up, loaded the footage from that Friday night. What I saw made my blood boil. At around 11:30 p.m., Derek pulls up to some dive bar downtown. A woman hops into the front seat. She's older, blonde, wearing this short red dress. They're laughing, drinking something from a flask. She climbs over the console, straddles him, kisses him hard. It gets worse. Around 1:50 a.m. he's flying down dark back roads, weaving in and out of lanes, blasting music, screaming out the window. At 2:10 a.m. he whips into the back lot of some dirty motel off I-75. You can see the neon flickering in the background. He doesn't even put the car in park. He's trying to kiss her, grab at her, steering with one hand. The Camry smashes straight into a low concrete divider, jolting the whole frame. She laughs like a hyena, climbs back onto him. He throws it in reverse, drives to the back of the motel, parks. The camera keeps rolling. They disappear into a room. That was my car. That was my damn car. We show up at Hamilton County Courthouse. Derek's sitting there looking smug, wearing a cheap suit, flipping through his phone. His lawyer, some greasy guy, stands up and says I was irresponsible, that my poor maintenance led to serious trauma. The judge looked bored. I thought I was cooked. Then my lawyer pulled out the USB stick. Your Honor, we have dashcam evidence from the defendant's vehicle that directly contradicts the plaintiff's claims. They plugged it into the courtroom screen. Everything played out. The bar pickup, the speeding, the crash, the motel. The courtroom was dead silent except for the scratchy sound of the dashcam mic catching Derek laughing and slurring his words. But the real kicker? When the woman appeared on screen, wearing that red dress, a man sitting 2 rows behind Derek's lawyer stood up so fast his chair fell over. He looked at the screen. He looked at Derek. Then he looked at the woman sitting next to him, the same woman from the footage. His wife. She burst into tears and ran out of the courtroom. He followed, face purple with rage. Turns out her husband, some big-shot local business guy, was at court that day for an unrelated property case. He hadn't known she was sneaking around. Until now. Didn't even let it get to arguments. He just said, "Case dismissed. You're lucky he's not countersuing." Derek looked like he was going to throw up. I wish I could say I walked out with a smug grin. But honestly, I was just exhausted. I wanted to go home and sleep for a week. But the fallout wasn't over. Fallout started fast. Word spread like wildfire. Small town. Big mouths. Everybody knew within 2 days. First, Derek's girlfriend found out. Someone, maybe one of her friends, maybe her sister, showed her the dashcam footage. I heard later she didn't even wait for him to come home. She packed all his stuff into trash bags, tossed them onto the front lawn, and changed the locks. When Derek tried to sweet-talk his way back in, she called the cops and said he was trespassing. He ended up spending that night at his mom's house. And that's where he's been ever since. The businessman, the one whose wife was caught on my dashcam, wasn't just some random guy. His name was Charles Myrick. Owned 3 local car dealerships, sponsored little league teams, donated to every charity event in town. Real old-school reputation guy. After that courtroom footage, he filed for divorce the next morning. Not just divorce, a public divorce. In Ohio, court records are public unless sealed. Charles made damn sure his filing stayed wide open for anyone to read. And he named Derek personally in the paperwork. Adulterous affair with Derek, last name, contributing to the irreparable breakdown of marriage. Everyone saw it. Church people, coworkers, local business owners, Derek's boss. The day after the divorce filing hit the papers, Derek's boss called him into the office. Apparently, the dealership was one of their big accounts. Boss didn't want the drama. He fired Derek on the spot. I started getting weird texts. Middle of the night stuff. Hope you're happy. Family's supposed to have your back. You think you're better than me? I ignored them. I figured he'd eventually calm down. But I was wrong. Not just dented, obliterated. Someone took a bat or a hammer to it. Pieces were scattered all over my yard. I didn't see it happen, no proof it was Derek. But who else would it be? I filed a police report just to have it on record. Cops said without footage or witnesses, they couldn't do much. So I did the next best thing. I installed new cameras. 2 floodlights with motion sensors. Cameras hidden in the trees by my driveway. Inside cams pointing out the windows. If Derek wanted to come at me again, I'd be ready. One Friday night, I was out grabbing a beer with some buddies. Got a text from my neighbor. "Hey man, think someone tried to break into your car." I rushed home. Sure enough, someone had tried to pry open the driver's side door on my Camry. Scratches all around the handle. Lock jacked up. Guess what? Caught it all on camera. Crystal clear footage. It was Derek. Hood up, head down, but no mistaking him. Same ratty hoodie, same slouched walk. Even the same stupid skull tattoo on his wrist. He tried to break in, maybe to mess up my car again, maybe to steal something, but my cameras caught every second. I pressed charges. Attempted vehicle break-in. Vandalism. Derek got arrested 2 days later. Mugshot and everything. Family tried to guilt-trip me. "Ah, Rick, he's had a rough time. He's just acting out." You're really gonna put family in jail over a car? I didn't budge. I told them, he tried to ruin my life. He can deal with the consequences. After Derek's arrest, things got weird with my family. First, they were just cold. Thanksgiving came and went, nobody invited me. Christmas too. No cards, no texts, nothing. Fine. I didn't want to eat cold ham with people who thought Derek was the victim anyway. But then, little things started happening around town. One morning, I walked out to my car and found it covered in raw eggs. Ruined the paint in places. Another time, I came back from the grocery store and found a long key scratch running down the whole driver's side. No witnesses. No cameras caught it. But I knew it was connected. A couple of Derek's idiot friends from high school still lived around here. He had plenty of dumb loyalists. It wasn't official, just a piece of notebook paper stuck under my windshield wiper. You ruined Derek's life. Payback's coming. No signature. No return address. Real mature. I gave the letter to the cops, but without fingerprints or proof, they couldn't do much. Because Charles, the rich businessman whose wife cheated with Derek, wasn't done yet. He filed a civil suit against Derek for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Apparently, the motel they crashed my car into, Charles's private investigators dug into it. Turns out Derek used Charles's company credit card to book that motel room. $89.99, Motel 7 off I-75. Derek had once done part-time work for one of Charles's dealerships doing basic detailing and cleaning cars. He had access to a company card for gas and car washes. He wasn't supposed to use it for personal crap. So now Charles added fraud to the lawsuit. And with Charles's money and lawyers, Derek didn't stand a chance. Didn't post online. Didn't fight back. But I wasn't done either. Because after Derek's arrest for trying to break into my car, the police had pulled up his phone records. And guess what? Turns out he hadn't been acting alone. The night my mailbox got destroyed, text messages showed he coordinated it with two of his old high school buddies. One of them even joked about bringing fireworks next time. And now, the cops had enough to charge all three of them with vandalism. I got a call from Charles's divorce lawyer. They wanted my dashcam footage. Officially, to use in the divorce trial. Apparently, under Ohio law, evidence of adultery can still affect division of property and alimony. They offered to subpoena me, but said if I voluntarily handed it over, they'd make it easy on me. I said yes. I figured if Derek was going to burn his own life down, I might as well hand him the matches. Derek's mom, my aunt, called me, screaming into the phone. You're destroying your own cousin. You're handing him over to those people. I calmly told her he destroyed himself. I just made sure the truth came out. Click. She hung up. Haven't heard from her since. About 2 months after everything exploded, the final blows landed. First, Derek lost the civil case. Charles's lawyers crushed him. The court ordered Derek to pay almost $37,000 damages for fraud, emotional distress, and property misuse. There was no way Derek could pay it. He tried to claim bankruptcy, but because it was ruled as intentional fraud, he couldn't wipe it away. That debt would follow him for life. Charles also made sure the judgment was public. Anyone who ran a basic background check would see it. The dashcam footage played a big part. Charles got the house. He kept all their joint savings. His now ex-wife got next to nothing. The judge said her gross marital misconduct was to blame. The footage destroyed not just Derek's life, it torched hers too. No girlfriend. No friends, the two guys he dragged into the mailbox mess turned on him once they got arrested. No job, no one around here would hire him once they found out he had a fraud judgment and a vandalism charge. He tried moving out of state, but with no money, no car, his truck finally died, and no help from family, he ended up stuck. Last I heard, he was working part-time washing dishes at a diner about 30 minutes out of town, living in a buddy's basement, and making payments of $50 a month toward that $37,000 he owed. At that rate, it'll take him until he's about 80 to pay it off. Not gonna lie, things weren't perfect. I lost a lot of family over this. People took sides. Some said I should have just let it go. Some said family loyalty mattered more than airing dirty laundry. Maybe they're right. Maybe I should have walked away after the court case instead of handing over that footage to Charles's lawyers. But I don't regret it. Because here's the thing. Derek tried to ruin me. Financially, legally, personally. He tried to break into my car. He set people against me. He wanted me to suffer so he wouldn't have to face the mess he made. If I hadn't fought back, he would have learned that it's okay to step on people who trust you. That he could hurt family and walk away laughing. I couldn't let that happen. Even if it cost me family ties. Even if it made holidays awkward forever. At a gas station. He was standing outside, smoking a cigarette, wearing some ratty work shirt. He looked up, saw me getting gas across the lot. He froze. I stared at him. He stared at me. Then he looked away, stubbed out the cigarette, and shuffled back inside the gas station without saying a word. He looked like a ghost. A broken, empty ghost. And I realized something. I didn't need to yell. I didn't need to brag. I didn't even need to hate him anymore. The world already gave him exactly what he deserved. All I had to do was survive it.